In a world obsessed with appearances, where wealth is measured by designer labels and status is defined by luxury, one man unknowingly steps into a storm of prejudice. This is not just a story of mistaken identity. It's a powerful reminder that humility, grace, and quiet strength can often wear the most unassuming clothes. When Keanu Reeves, the internationally adored actor known for his down-to-earth nature, walks into a high-end hotel dressed like a drifter, he doesn't just challenge expectations, he completely shatters them. What unfolds next is a gripping tale of arrogance, realization, and redemption. It's a story that will make you question your assumptions and leave you cheering for a man who proves that true worth isn't found in a price tag, it's found in character. Buckle in for an emotional roller coaster packed with drama, heart, and one unforgettable twist. This is Hotel Manager Insults Keanu Reeves for His Clothes, Instantly Regrets It When Truth is Revealed. Chapter 1. The Entrance That Shocked a Luxury Hotel. It was a crisp autumn afternoon in downtown Manhattan. The towering silhouette of the Elysian, a five-star luxury hotel known for its celebrity clientele and lavish interiors, stood majestically against the skyline. As valets bustled to and fro and bellboys rushed to greet affluent guests, a man stepped onto the polished marble floors of the lobby. He wore a worn-out pair of jeans, a faded black t-shirt, and scuffed boots. His hair, slightly tousled, fell just below his shoulders, and a backpack hung loosely off one shoulder. At first glance, he looked like a backpacker who'd taken a wrong turn into opulence. The front desk manager, Gregory Langston, raised an eyebrow from behind the check-in counter. Gregory was the epitome of corporate luxury, immaculately tailored suit, gelled back hair, and an air of superiority he carried like a designer fragrance. The man took a few steps forward, looked around with a calm gaze, and gave a slight nod to the concierge. Gregory's lips curled into a faint smirk. "Excuse me, sir," he called, his voice laced with condescension. "This hotel is for guests only. You may want to try the motel down the street." The man smiled politely. "I have a reservation," he said, his voice warm yet confident. Gregory chuckled, unconvinced. "A reservation? Here." He gestured to the opulent decor, crystal chandeliers and walls adorned with fine art. "I'm afraid you're mistaken." But what Gregory didn't know was that he had just insulted one of the most beloved actors in the world, Keanu Reeves. Chapter 2. The Whispers and the Recognition. The atmosphere in the lobby shifted subtly as murmurs began to ripple among the hotel staff. A bellboy who had just stepped out of the elevator froze in place, his eyes widening. "Is that Keanu Reeves?" he whispered to a nearby doorman. The doorman squinted in disbelief. "No way, not dressed like that." But then a woman in her late 20s, stylishly dressed and holding a small designer dog in her arms, gasped audibly. "Oh my God, it is him! That's Keanu Reeves. I saw him at a film festival last year." As if on cue, guests began to slow their steps, turning to get a better look. Smartphones appeared in hands, subtle at first, then more openly. Gregory, still smirking, furrowed his brow at the sudden change in atmosphere. "Excuse me, Mr. Langston." The concierge leaned in, whispering discreetly. "I believe the gentleman is indeed Keanu Reeves." Gregory's face lost a shade of color. "That can't be. Keanu Reeves wouldn't walk in here looking like that." But before Gregory could process the growing attention in the lobby, Keanu simply pulled out his phone, tapped a few times, and held it out with a reservation confirmation screen. It clearly read, "Keanu C. Reeves, Penthouse Suite, 3 nights, Presidential Package." Gregory stared at it, momentarily speechless. "Uh, I, I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Reeves. I didn't realize." Keanu, ever gracious, gave him a small smile. No problem. These things happen, but they don't usually happen to A-list actors in the heart of New York's most exclusive hotels. And this was only the beginning. Chapter 3. A Humble King in a Crystal Palace. Keanu followed the bellboy into the elevator, leaving behind a wave of stares, whispers, and dropped jaws. The golden elevator doors closed with a soft chime, and Gregory stood frozen at the front desk, still processing what had just transpired. In the penthouse suite, the bellboy nervously set Keanu's modest backpack on the velvet chaise. "If there's anything else you need, Mr. Reeves, please don't hesitate to call." Keanu smiled. "Thanks, man. You've been kind." He pulled a crisp $100 bill from his wallet and handed it to the young man. The bellboy's eyes widened. "Thank you, sir. Really appreciate it." Keanu nodded again, his demeanor peaceful, almost monk-like. As the bellboy left, Keanu took a slow walk through the sprawling suite. He admired the view, not of the lavish interior, but of the city below. He breathed in the moment, untouched by the glitz. Meanwhile, back in the lobby, Gregory paced. He was trying to formulate a damage control strategy. The guest had been famous, A-lister, internet gold, and he had been rude, publicly. "Get me guest relations," he snapped to the concierge, but it was already too late. Photos were trickling onto social media. A tweet by the designer dog woman had gone viral. Keanu Reeves just got insulted by the manager at the Elysian because of his clothes. Classiest clapback I've ever seen. Likes, retweets, shares. The internet had taken notice, and Gregory was in deep trouble. Chapter 4. The General Manager's Nightmare. At the top floor of the hotel's executive wing, Douglas Mendez, the general manager of the Elysian, was sipping his morning espresso when his phone buzzed. Dozens of missed calls, dozens more messages, and several links to social media posts. He clicked one. There, in crisp HD, was a photo of Keanu Reeves, standing humbly in the hotel lobby, dressed like a casual traveler. The caption read, "Keanu Reeves insulted for his appearance at NYC's poshest hotel. Handles it like a legend." The post already had over 500,000 likes. Douglas stared at the screen, horrified. He shot up from his chair, knocking over his coffee. "Get me Langston, now!" Within minutes, Gregory was standing sheepishly in the general manager's office. "You insulted Keanu Reeves," Douglas's voice thundered. "I didn't know it was him," Gregory mumbled. "He wasn't dressed." "Stop right there," Douglas cut in. "This hotel prides itself on discretion and respect. You treated a guest like a beggar. Worse, you humiliated an international icon." Gregory swallowed hard. "I was just—" "No excuses. You've embarrassed this institution. If this PR disaster explodes any further, it could cost us millions in reputation." Douglas paused, pinching the bridge of his nose. "You're on leave, effective immediately." Gregory's jaw dropped. "But security will escort you out. We'll contact you once we review this fully." Gregory stood stunned as security entered. As he was let out, staff and guests alike watched in silence. Word had spread. The manager who had shamed Keanu Reeves was now the one being removed. And Keanu? He hadn't said a word to anyone about the incident, because true class never needs to announce itself. Chapter 5. The Press Conference and the Surprise Visit. The following morning, the front of the Elysian was swarming with news vans and camera crews. What began as a single viral post had exploded into a full-fledged media storm. Headlines blared from every entertainment outlet. Keanu snubbed at five-star hotel. Celebrity humility outsmarts elitism. And hotel faces backlash over star mistreatment. Inside the hotel's grand ballroom, a hastily organized press conference was about to begin. Douglas Mendez, visibly tense, stepped up to the podium. He straightened his tie, adjusted the microphone, and addressed the sea of flashing cameras. We at the Elysian extend our sincerest apologies to Mr. Keanu Reeves. We deeply regret the unfortunate incident that occurred in our lobby and have taken immediate action to rectify the situation. He paused, scanning the crowd. Respect, discretion, and hospitality are the cornerstones of our service, and we have failed to uphold them in this instance. As reporters launched questions, the back doors of the ballroom creaked open. In walked Keanu Reeves. The room fell into a stunned hush. Keanu, dressed in the same faded jeans and t-shirt, offered a relaxed wave. He made his way calmly to the front and stood beside Douglas. "I didn't come here to make a fuss," he began, his voice gentle. "I just needed a quiet place to stay." He turned to Douglas. "Thank you for your apology. I accept it." The room broke into murmurs of surprise. Douglas extended a hand. Keanu shook it firmly. "But I do hope this moment becomes more than just a headline," Keanu continued. "It should remind us all, especially in places of service, that dignity isn't about what someone wears, but how we treat each other." The cameras snapped in unison as the press applauded. In a single sentence, Keanu had turned a scandal into a teachable moment. And somewhere in the crowd, Gregory Langston, watching through a live stream from his apartment, buried his face in his hands. Chapter 6: Gregory's Road to Redemption. Weeks passed. Gregory Langston's name had become synonymous with arrogance. He couldn't walk down the street without recognizing glances, or worse, judgmental stares. Job offers stopped coming. Friends grew distant. The weight of public humiliation bore down like a lead coat. But Gregory wasn't finished. He spent time volunteering at local shelters, meeting people whose appearances had often caused them to be dismissed, just as he had dismissed Keanu. He listened. He learned. Slowly, humility replaced pride. One evening, he posted a heartfelt message on social media. "I was wrong. I judged a man based on his clothes and nearly lost everything. But sometimes, losing is what teaches us how to value others. Thank you, Mr. Reeves, for your grace. I hope someday I can extend the same to others." To Gregory's surprise, the message went viral, not with hate, but with support. People believed in change. They believed in redemption. And one comment, simple and powerful, stood out among the rest. Forgiven. KR. Subscribe this channel, Unsung Acts, for more inspirational videos. Thanks for watching.